Here we are again. I think that's my catchphrase. Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Got the Christmas tree.
Yeah, got the Christmas tree up and the season of magic starting.
Mhm.
And I think this is a good time to remember a very magical trip that we had unplanned pretty much, but that happened in 2019, and that was the trip to Ireland. And the trip was, again, something that I decided to have for myself very spontaneously. I just kind of got that idea, and I was planning to go by myself. And then, sort of as a conversation with you,
Mhm.
John, I remember you said, that would be nice. I want to go to Ireland too. And I said, well, do you want to go with me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you said, yeah. And then it took me like a couple seconds to process that. I was
Yeah.
like, really? Okay, that would be interesting. But, I think it's, again, like you get to know people as you travel with them,
Mhm.
probably the best compared to any other circumstances. And I remember I told you pretty much right away that, John, but I don't usually plan anything, I mean, I plan the point of destination, and my travel agent chose that one for me. So I didn't even look at the pictures when she said, oh, you want to probably see Kinsale. I'm like, okay, Kinsale.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, John's going to think I'm crazy because I don't have any itinerary or any particular, agenda. But you were right on the same page, right? You just said, yeah, let's just get there. Let's just get there. And so the magic started right away. In fact, I think the magic started right before we even made through the custom.
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. So we're going through the maze, and it's our turn. Remember, up at the customs place, and we handed the customs agent, Ireland customs agent, our passports. And he was doing whatever they do, checking.
Oh, and before that, remember in the San Francisco airport, actually,
Yeah.
I took over the passport because you forgot your belt and the chicken. And so I'm like, okay, John, give me your passport. And he looked at me like,
yeah,
I don't know if I trust you that much, lady. So I had both passports, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so, okay. And then
I even gave you all of our money. I said, well, if you take the money too. And so I was with nothing. And so here we are in Dublin, going through customs. And the gentleman, he's just looking and doing whatever they do. And he asked the question to you. I was just standing there in the background. He asked the question to you, something like,
business or pleasure?
Business or pleasure?
And I said, pleasure.
Yeah, and I thought, well, that's a good answer. Pleasure. Yeah, we're going to do pleasure.
Yeah, where are we going?
And he wanted to know, looking at Marina, he wanted to know, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, he said, where are you going? And I said, Kinsale. It took me a second. Kinsale. And something along the line, what are you going to do?
And Marina says, I don't know.
I remember how he looked at me.
Yeah. we haven't got that far yet. And I remember the guy looking up at Marina with that kind of like, I don't know look. I mean, he just didn't know. And then Marina was able to say, we don't have an agenda. And he, in his own way, said something like, that's highly unusual.
Yeah, no, he said something like, what do you mean? I said, we don't have any plans. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
We don't have any plans. And I remember you mentioned afterwards that
Yeah.
you were afraid that we're gonna get taken to some kind of like interrogation room. Like, who are these guys?
Well, yeah, no, it didn't. It was starting. It didn't look good. I mean, because we were holding up the whole line, and he wanted to know this stuff, and finally, he did whatever he did, and we got through customs.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a man standing out there by the baggage, had a sign that said Marina. And he was the man that was going to drive us to Kinsdale.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Seamus. And he took our luggage and put it in the car and drove up. And, we got into the car.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're driving, he had this high idea. It was about a 3-hour drive, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And he had this idea. He said, how about if we stop? It's about halfway at these ruins.
5-hour drive.
Was it 5?
Mm-hmm. I think it was 5-hour drive.
It's a long time, but it didn't matter at this point.
That was not really good planning on our part, but but yeah. No, he offered. He said it's a long drive. Why don't we stop midway for? First, he said just for coffee and a snack.
Yeah, and so he did. He stopped at these ruins of a castle.
Yeah, but first he said, "Okay, let's stop at the midpoint." And we're like, "Oh yeah, after all this long flight, I mean, definitely just walk around, drink some coffee." And he goes, "Well, but if we take a little, extra kind of swing, right? Not from the exact road, but just a little off the main road. There's that castle." And we were like, "Really?" So right within like the first 2 hours, we were taken to something to see.
That's what we did.
Private tour.
Yeah. He went and got some coffee for himself down the road a little bit, dropped us off at the castle, and we just started right away roaming around. And we were standing in line waiting to get in. And Marina, tell them about those two kids. Those two kids.
So we had a couple, an American couple with 2 kids right behind us, and people behind them were talking to kids, and it was their last day in Ireland, so they were on the way home.
Yeah.
And so that other couple, Irish couple, were asking kids what they liked the most. And there's that boy, and I sort of, listening to their conversation, and he goes, absolutely the best were the waterfalls. And I'm going, John, because I love waterfalls. I mean, I went to Oregon to see I mean, just anywhere I can, if there's a waterfall, I gotta see it. And so, yeah, right away, I'm like, I think we have a plan for tomorrow.
That's how it started. It just paying attention and going with whatever shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, in the videos that come later, I mean, we just sort of tell some, for me and for Marina, just some incredible stories of people and places that we ran into. And I think you'll understand, when I got back, I would tell people it's the best vacation I ever had in my life. The best. 6 days. It was a total of 6 because I had to get ready.
With the stories to the airport, and then okay, 6 days. Because every day something would show up, just like with the kids, and pointing us to the most amazing places that I don't think you would find in any kind of tourist-oriented booklets. So it was just unbelievable. I think every night we would process the day and would be almost speechless at the number of well, they're not coincidences, but the meaningful occurrences that happen, and all because we had that very distinct feeling that all of that was happening before because we didn't have any agenda.
No agenda and no expectations, and literally, oh my God, it was cool.
A lot of magic. So we want to sort of continue that in this holiday season and share with you the story of Ireland and the magic that happened there.
Thanks. Yeah.
So, see you soon.